So, not studying. Then I recalled my past experiences with entry into knowledge, wisdom. All in the Bible it says. And so does in every mystical book. We are created in the image of God. And God is all-knowing, all-present, almighty, all-powerful, etc. Are we no less? I believed in that. So what you need to do is drop the human baggage and go into stillness. So instead of studying my books, for days and days I practiced mindlessness. To really still myself, avoid it all. I would come into the class, sit down and read the question one at a time and just write a complete perfect dissertation. Some people call it automatic writing. But if you step out of that zone of complete stillness, that place of non-doubting, just knowing that it's going to happen. But if you doubt it for a second, you are gone. You're back to being human, the doubting Thomas. I used to score perfect, theoretical, as well as even in the field of advanced psychology when I was taking it. We are magically made. Our whole institutions are dumbing of America. There's an exceptional book. Every parent should really consider reading it. By Prenatal Origin of Genius. It's really prenatal origin of an exceptional being. In the same tradition as the Jesuits said, give me a child and I will either make him a Saint Teresa or I can make him a Hitler. It comes in the environment within that child is nurtured those first few years, but even more so in this book written by Dr. Bernard. He extrapolates 4 important characteristics of developing of geniuses and superior humans, and that is within the reach of everybody. Even like, for instance, I was reading Newsweek magazine. They had a family of a Chinese family that had 3 children, and they had 3 prodigies. 3 prodigies. 3 children, 3 prodigies. How could that be? That is totally statistically out of the question. They treated those from birth on, as well as during the nurturing phase, concentrating on creating the optimal nutritional environment, and then that child was raised as it was, a divine being that had consciousness, that had accountability, creating an environment of stimulating, developing the whole neurological pathways. And in the book of Prenatal Origin of Genius, they made it very clear. It is the mother's thoughts and feelings and lifestyle habits that predetermines the child's future emphasis. She creates the directives. It is the internal thought processes which are orchestrated by the way you summarize and integrate the external world experience, which is from stimulation and thought stimulation is weaved organic compounds by hypothalamus that defines the whole nature of the outside and the inside world to feed to your pituitary glandular to orchestrate your hormone system to create appropriate behavior to the nature of the world. You might be attacked by lions, or you should be having a relaxing, peaceful time. All this information that comes in through your sense data is orchestrated and it's made alive. And the mother's thoughts override so much of everything that is external, because if the mother was practicing piano concert, going to concerts, you can bet your dollar that child was going to be a musician. My own mother, she had her fourth child. She was about 18 years younger than me. I worked for my mother. My mother worked right to the last day of pregnancy, then she went to the hospital. I told my mother very clearly, I says, Mother, I says, you're going to give birth to an accountant. Sure enough, by 24, she was certified public accountant. Because my mother was very much into the nature of the financial world, money. Her thoughts. My mother carried a lot of emotional baggage due to the nature of my father. It overrid all of it into myself to direct my life toward making sure these kind of things are minimized or discovering solutions. So you have this wonderful body, this temple of great human potential. Fuel it properly, detoxify it on a regular ongoing basis. Alexis Carrel, as an example, took tissues of chicken's heart and was able to create environment through optimal nutrition and detoxification. The chicken's heart became immortal, physically showing no signs of aging. Dr. Child, as well as Aldous Huxley of University of Chicago, they did studies with worms. The ones that were fasted periodically, 17 generations later, they still showed no aging. So many Nobel Prize receptionists have stated it's much easier to explain why the human body dies than why it shouldn't be living forever. And how long is forever? Nobody really knows outside of that. We are immortal as souls. Our life has no beginning or end of creation. And it's a mystery, to put it mildly. But we preordained ourselves to experience certain life growth and integration of aspects of reality that we have cosmically dedicated ourselves, and we come well prepared by the matrix of the solar geometry, they call it astrology, to have a predetermined nature, though there is freedom in a sense to be either miserable and free or to be dedicated and predetermined and be blissed out and happy. Most choose the freedom of sensuality from gluttony to abuse of all other senses and get lost in the Maya. Why are the anti-depression drugs are the most popular form of recreation? Because we have been so distracted by the social inculcation, indoctrination, to be enslaved, to serve those who have no sense of appreciation. They have gotten lost in the Maya, just like most are, instead of the awakening process through stillness and connecting to who you are and allowing that part of you to blossom. Then you experience joy. You never are alone. And you come into self-realization, and your dharmic pathways are very predetermined, with unbelievable joy and potential, because you already had this in mind before you were born.